Joining us now is Javier Palomarez, President and CEO of the United States Hispanic Business Council. Javier, thank you very much for coming back on the program. Our viewers really appreciated you the last time you joined us. You're incredibly passionate about what is happening there. You've placed a lot of urgency on that, sir. What did you make of the president's visit, first of all? Is this going to help anything?
I have to say that I've been critical of this administration's handling of that crisis. And after months of myself and others calling for the president to come down to the border and visit the Americans who are suffering through this crisis, he finally came. So credit where credit is due. But honestly, a 3-hour scripted, sanitized visit, that's not a solution. That's a photo op. And we're calling for a lot more than this. I understand that Joe Biden didn't create this problem. It's not his fault, but it is his responsibility.
Really interesting. This is the White House description of the president's new border policies, imposing new consequences for individuals who attempt to enter unlawfully, expanding legal pathways for safe, orderly, and human migration. They also say the securing surge resources to secure the border, disrupt criminal smuggling networks, and supporting border communities. Will any of this help?
I think it may help. Policy is one thing, enforcement is another. This notion of sending 30,000 migrants back to Mexico is a drop in the bucket. It'll help, and right now we'll take any help we can get, but it's a drop in the bucket compared to the 1.5 million who are already here awaiting processing. In addition to that, we've got 600,000 people claiming asylum. That process alone is estimated to take up to 4 years to clean up. What are we going to do with these people in the meantime? And at the same time that this is happening, our farmers are suffering. Last year, we lost 10 million tons of crops that went unharvested because we couldn't get people to harvest those crops for us. So we need the president's attention. We need some thoughtful resolution to this, something that's sustainable, that'll help the American people and the American economy. This
is Senator James Lankford on what he says the president did not do with this border visit.
He didn't meet with the Border Patrol Union, or he didn't meet with the landowners in the area. He didn't get a chance to be able to meet with migrants. This was a staged event that he brought in on Sunday to say, look, I went, right. But he's not actually going to try to say what needs to be fixed.
Sort of echoing the comments that we've heard from you just now. You've reached out to the White House. I mean, are you in communication with the president and his team at all about these issues?
We are to some extent. But the reality of it is they want to listen to the people they want to listen to. And listen, I get it. Joe Biden has the toughest job in the world. But let's not forget, he asked for this job. We gave him the job, and now it's time for him to do the job. It's going to take some thought. It's going to take some leadership. He's going to have to reach across the aisle. Not a single Republican was invited to that visit. Where were our 2 senators in Texas? Where were the Texas Republican members of Congress? We need a leader that understands the issue, that's talking to the Americans on the border, the farmers, the doctors, the nurses, the police officers, the teachers, the Americans that are suffering through this crisis. They will best inform his strategy for how to move forward, not his insulated, Ivy League educated circle of 6. He needs to get beyond that and talk to real Americans about how we move forward here.
Javier, I've only got a couple seconds left, but I know people are listening to you very closely, what you're saying right now. And by the way, the last time you joined us, we certainly didn't ask, but you volunteered that you voted for President Biden, that you were one of those that put him in office. And you also said at the end of the last interview we had with you that Democrats are going to make a Republican out of you over this border crisis. Has there been any change there?
Sadly, there has not. I'm waiting for Joe Biden to step out of the inner circle, to step out of the Beltway and deal with the American people, hear from us, hear from Republicans that are on the border that are suffering through this. It can be done. This is his moment. He can illustrate that he's the leader that he promised he was going to be.
Well, hopefully he reaches out to you because you are in touch with a lot of people that are directly affected by this, sir, and you're welcome to come back anytime. Thank you very much, Javier.
God bless for having us.
All right.
Appreciate it.